Hi there, I'm Andrea Koppel, and it's Time for Coffee, the podcast where you get to hear firsthand what the jobs and careers that interest you the most are really like. Hey there, Java junkies. Welcome to another K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. By the way, K-Cups come in 3 sizes: single, double, and triple shots, or roughly 1 minute, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes in length. So if you don't have time to throw back an entire caffeinated career conversation, these K-Cup mini episodes of T4C can give you a quick caffeinated fix, whether you're on the go or you only have a few minutes to binge. So grab your mug and take a chug, because it's time for a caffeinated career double shot K-Cup with my guest, Ian Bremmer. I want to ask you if you could deconstruct what the qualities were that allowed you to become a pioneer and essentially create the industry that didn't exist.
Well, first of all, it's taken a long time. It's 22 years. I mean, I think if you're focused on something and you're any good at it over 22 years, you probably build something, right? I mean, it's the only thing I've worked on professionally over that time. I really enjoy it. I'm very passionate about it. I'm deeply curious. I'm not very political. I've never been a member of a political party. I've always been skeptical that one set of political leaders have all the answers. It's kind of like the idea that I was raised Catholic, so that means that Buddhism is fundamentally wrong. I've never been that way. So I think there are some pieces of my personality that naturally kind of gravitated me towards doing something like this. That definitely helped. A recognition that having the content by itself wasn't enough. I mean, I remember when I started, you try to write an op-ed in the New York Times and they say no. You can't get angry when someone else that has a bigger name writes an op-ed on the same topic 3 weeks later and it's not as good as yours in your view, because it's not just about the content. It's also about, did you do the work to get to know the person? Did you figure out how it works, how the game is played? And those things are equally important. And if all you're doing is content, but you're not bothering to figure out how to communicate it, how to get it across the transom to the people that matter, you do not deserve to have your content promoted. It's only a piece of it. And the problem in my field and in academia in general is that they focus only on the content and think that that by itself somehow gets it done for you. And it doesn't. It's not the way the world works. I think that being raised by my mother, who didn't finish high school and was, a homemaker taking care of me and my brother in the projects, she never assumed that anything would be given to us. She recognized you had to fight for everything, and she instilled that in me and my brother. And I think that there are a lot of young people who haven't had to fight, who had networks and money that came because of the station their parents were in. Certainly, most of my colleagues at Stanford and most of the people applying for jobs at Eurasia Group from Harvard and the other, wonderful schools, that network was provided to them. They're just not going to work as hard, and they think the opportunities are due to them, and they're not. I mean, I think that, one of the things that I think young people most need to learn is that if you want someone to do something for you, you need to spend an awful lot of time first actually building the relationship and showing that you're actually worth their time. And if you haven't done that, it's never going to work. And my mother, I think, really instilled in me and my brother the critical importance of bootstrapping yourself to create your own opportunities, create your own luck. That's the luck I had was that she raised me, which was an extraordinary piece of luck most people have. But once I had that, I recognized that a lot of the additional luck I was going to have to make myself.
Thanks for tuning in to this K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. If you want to listen to our entire caffeinated career conversation, please check out the show notes for this episode. Thanks so much for listening to Time for Coffee, where the professionals in the jobs that most interest you always have time to grab coffee 24/7, no matter where you live. I have one quick favor to ask you. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe to Time for Coffee. Thanks so much.